Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is for you, everybody. Today is a very special day. Well, actually, yesterday was a very special day. But today is the day that I get to share that very special thing that happened yesterday. I got my first tattoo. I know what you're thinking. This kid's only 18. Yes, don't worry. I've been planning this for like years, so I can guarantee, like almost with 100% certainty, that this is something I will not regret in the next like 10 to 50 years. I really just love it, and it makes me so happy, and I feel like everything is coming full circle in my life now, and this is just one thing that I've finally been able to do that I've been wanting to do for so long. And today I'm going to show you guys what it looks like. I'm going to talk about the process, so you know if you've never had one before, if you're curious about my experience. So yeah. So, adjusting this so you can see clearly. This is it. And yeah, I know my arm is a little bit spotty, don't mind that. But yeah, this is my tattoo, and it looks absolutely beautiful. It is still slightly swollen because it's going through the healing process, and that's just what happens when you get a tattoo. So my skin is, it feels slightly irritated, like when you pull around this area, but for the most part, no pain. I was expecting like it to go straight into my muscle and I wouldn't be able to move my arm. I was expecting it to be that bad, but in reality, it's like nothing. It's kind of just like, the best way I can describe it is if you, like razor burn, I think. Yeah. Like if you shave a little too hard and it kind of scrapes you. That's the best way I can describe it. So it's nothing. But basically, I suppose I should describe this. It's actually a design that I created a very long time ago when I was just very young. I don't remember the age, but I created this symbol, light blue heart with a dark blue spiral in it, and it sort of became a symbol that I would use in my art. Like, I would either draw it repeatedly, or I would put it at the end of my signature when I would finish drawing a piece. In case you didn't know, now you do. I'm sort of an artist. Well, it's one of my hobbies. Yeah, so it sort of holds a special place in my heart, this symbol. It represents, I suppose, my creativity, and also just, I feel like, if this makes sense, if me as a person could be described by some sort of simplistic symbol, my soul, that would be it. That symbol which I've created. And that's why it's so special to me, and I don't think I would regret that, because it has meaning, and I don't think I'd ever get a tattoo that was just out of the blue, kind of just because I thought, oh, this is a good idea. It has to be something that I know for a fact I will not regret, because they're permanent, and getting them removed, probably, that's just like another waste of money. And it's like, so yeah, of course I'm not gonna regret this. I really don't think I will. Well, I created the heart with the spiral in it when I was really young. But this sparkle was not there to begin with. This was not something that I came up with until just recently, when I came up with the idea that I wanted to finally get a tattoo because I'm 18. And I'd say that the sparkle sort of represents me now, kind of. It's more like me 2.0, whereas the heart was me as a younger kid, but also just me in general, like me at the core. But the sparkle is like a little bit upgrade, when I sort of realized more about myself than I knew before. So that's why I sort of spontaneously decided to add that. And also, of course, the text underneath, it says, "This is me," with a period at the end, because I am the grammar police. But yeah, and that's pretty self-explanatory. It says that because of, well, what all of I just explained, so it makes sense now, because this does represent me, I feel like. And I feel like it's even cooler, the fact that I designed it. I find that really awesome. Even like the reference photo that they used to make the stencil of it, I drew that. I made a digital piece of art of it, of what I wanted to look like, and then the tattoo artist just fixed it up a little bit, you know, because I sort of made it in a bit of a rush, because I saw the application online required a reference photo that you had to upload immediately when turning in your request form. So I was like, oh shoot, I have to make this now. And so I kind of scribbled it up, basically what I wanted, because it's a fairly simple design. It's kind of hard to mess up, I feel like, if you're an experienced artist, you know. It's not like anything insane. So yeah, I basically did create that. At least I created the idea for it and the reference photo. Now, all emotion aside, I want to talk about the technical process of this. So, I came into the studio yesterday. My appointment was at 5 o'clock, so I knew I was going to be out a little bit late that night. I called an Uber from my college to take me there. The ride was about 20 minutes. I don't have a car, so yeah, I had to call an Uber there and back. And when I got to the studio, I was super nervous. I just had a million things going on in my brain. First thing being, well, I hope it's not awkward with me and the artist. I know not many people might have that thought, but I just imagine myself sitting there just like the whole time, and I'm like, is this gonna be awkward? Me just kind of sitting there for hours where someone's like hovering over me with a giant needle. You know what I mean? That was my first thought. I was nervous, but no, my artist she was super nice, super sociable, and she was nice. My second thought was, how painful is this going to be? I refrained from looking that up because I just wanted to kind of go in and just have it happen, you know, instead of scaring myself by looking up how painful tattoos are. And so then they made me give my ID. I did a little bit of paperwork. Surprisingly, it wasn't that much paperwork, which is great. Then sitting down, reading a magazine, waiting for my tattoo artist to set everything up. I finally come back there. First thing that she does is she puts the stencil that I chose, because she made me choose out of different sizes of the heart, because there were a few different sizes that they could do. And I chose sort of like the smallest one. I felt like I didn't want it to be too big, and I feel like this is, this is a good size. It's just, there's no point in having it much bigger than that, I feel like. It's perfect for my arm. And yeah, so then she put the stencil over my arm, which is basically like a temporary tattoo, and let it sit for 10 minutes, and then after that, she made me sit on this table, and we were going to get started. Luckily, what I thought was really nice is that the place had drinks and snacks for free, super awesome, and also the TV was on, so I could watch TV while it was all happening. They were playing Adventure Time, which I hadn't seen in a very long time, so I literally spent the entirety of the time there watching Adventure Time while I was getting my tattoo done. And it was fun watching it. And we had to adjust like the way I was seated a couple times. And throughout the entire thing, the pain was not that bad. I mean, it really wasn't. I was expecting this to be just really painful, and that I would be freaking out and I couldn't do it and I'd have to stop. She said that we could have taken a break anytime I wanted, but I didn't need to take a break. Like, I was totally fine. Like, honest to God, the most uncomfortable part about it was just me having to lay in a weird position at some point in the process, and that wasn't even that bad. I mean, I will say the coloring process hurt slightly more than the outline process, because it's like they're doing this instead of just light outline, so that was a little bit more painful, but really it was very manageable. I think maybe that has something to do with that it was on my arm, right? In a space where I have more muscle mass and more skin, more sort of, or fat or muscle mass or whatever, as opposed to an area such as, I don't know, if someone got a collarbone tattoo, that would hurt like hell. But yeah, probably the area. And also, it just wasn't that bad, and my muscle is not sore, which is great. Very happy about that. I was expecting my muscle to be sore. And then afterward, I paid for it, and yeah, I went home with a saran wrap around my arm. Basically, they had to put that on to protect it from debris, whatever's flying around in the air. And yeah, I went home that night around like 7 or so. It only took about 2 hours. It was pretty good, and the price was I feel like very reasonable. Just in my opinion, it was $175, and I think, for a tattoo, that's pretty good, because I've heard people say that they're like really, really expensive. But I guess it depends on the size, how many hours you're going to be there, the attention to detail, etc. But mine was fairly simple, so that was good in that regard. And now I have to deal with aftercare. So I have to wash it with unscented soap, mind you. And I had to go out and buy unscented soap today because I did not have any, to be honest. I'm a huge scent fan. I love everything with fragrances in it, and it's like, oh god, now I have to go out and buy this. But yeah, I did. I bought unscented soap and also unscented lotion for it as well because you have to moisturize it as well. This thing is basically like an open wound, just like hanging out there. So you also can't expose it to water for too long. You have to pat it dry with a paper towel so that, you know, you don't get it dirty. You can't use your regular bath towel or hand towel on it because then you risk, I guess, messing up the design or getting an infection or something. So I have to be sort of careful for the next couple of weeks with this thing. But overall, I am extremely excited about this. It was a huge day in my life. I've mentioned a lot of things this year that I've considered my marking or my initiation into adulthood. So I would say that this is, but then again, I've said that about like probably 50 other things. So it's just another part of adulthood, getting a tattoo. And I also sort of surprised a lot of people with this because I only told like 2 or 3 people that it was gonna happen. I didn't tell everyone in my life. I was just planning on just one day just going like, surprise, and that's basically what I did. I just posted a bunch of pictures and people were like, what? But they all thought it was super awesome. And basically, very pleasantly surprised at the experience. Honestly, it might sound weird. I had fun while it was happening. I really did. Well, one, because I was watching Adventure Time. You know, who doesn't like watching TV? And 2, I don't know, it's just a very unique experience, I suppose. And yeah, I'm excited for people when they see it to be like, oh, that's a cool tattoo, and then come up to me and ask me what it means and the whole process. I enjoy talking to people about things like this. And I'm sure in the future that I will probably get another one. But probably not for a long time, because, you know, this is enough to deal with for now. I gotta care for this one, and it'll be good. I'm also trying not to get it in the sun, which has been sort of difficult because there's some weird heat wave going on right now. It's September. I don't get it, but it's happening, and normally I would be happy about that, but ever since I got this, I'm like, I have to be careful now. I have to stay out of the sun, like a vampire. Like Marceline the vampire, if you get what I mean. But yeah, people were genuinely surprised. Some people said that I don't seem like a tattoo person, and maybe I don't, but hey, I like shocking people with facts about me, so that's always fun. Also, can't wait till my mom finds out about this, which, is it really her business anyway? Not really, because I'm an adult now, but at the same time, you know, it's my mom. Maybe I should have told her, but I didn't, and I might also just decide to surprise her next time I see her, so we'll see how that goes. But anyways, yeah, this is gonna look great when I start wearing tank tops, you know, more often. It'll be when I'm in circumstances where I get to do that. Probably not at school. I don't want to wear a tank top at school. I can also hide it easily if I have to, you know, jobs or whatever, but I don't know if that's still relevant. That might have just been something jobs hated back then, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's super beautiful, and it's gonna look a lot better as well once it's done healing, because this is still right now in the healing process, and you can kind of see it's a little bit red, a little bit fleshy, so once that's all healed, it's gonna look great. There's a little bit of ink that came out this morning, but apparently that's normal, and it happens especially with colored tattoos. The first couple of days they get a little bit juicy or whatever because it's just excess, apparently, ink and plasma as well from the skin that it's ejecting. So nothing to be concerned about, but overall, first tattoo, awesome experience. Probably will do again one day. Bye bye.